what we provide for agents is anything. I mean, I gave to my director of ops and my director of growth and Luke, and everybody knows our value prop, and we look at it and I go, do me a favor, highlight the top 10 that are significant to you and highlight the top 10 that you think would be significant to somebody else.
Yeah.
And, they come back and say to me, this is like covers everything. Now, are we missing something? I'm sure somewhere along the line we'll miss or we'll grow. But the reality is that the services that anybody could want in the real estate business.
Welcome everybody to another episode of The Spotlight. Today we have a very special guest, somebody that I have a tremendous amount of admiration for, somebody who has accomplished a tremendous amount in the area of real estate in our community. He's done a lot, not just in the industry, but also for the local communities. Please welcome the great Barry Paley, leader of the Paley team and interim operating principal of Keller Williams Points North. Welcome, Barry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Congrats
Appreciate the
on
accolades.
that, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats on that.
Yeah, it's all good. It's about generating and protecting and making sure everybody's growing. So that's kind of what we do.
Well, you've had a great career. You're somebody that earlier in my career, your name would ring bells, right? So I've been in lending for 20 years. And I migrated to Long Island later in my career as my family required me to leave the boroughs because we kept having more kids. And so, you have such a great reputation, and that's something that it doesn't come easy, right? I know this as a businessman myself, right? It takes a lifetime to build a reputation, and it takes a moment to ruin it. So you have done an exceptional job. You've built a very dynamic team. You have a multi-generational, multilingual, group of people that are all trained by you. So they're cut from that cloth of service, service, service. And I mean, like every time we've been together, you're always on the phone. Like we could be in the middle of a conversation. If it's a client calling, if it's, it could be any stage of the transaction from before the listing to post-closing, you're taking that call. And so I think that's very admirable. I think a lot of real estate professionals can learn a lot from you. And that's really the point of our show. I think we're trying to get voices like yours heard, even though I know I talk a lot, and forgive me for that. But just to get your voice out there, because so many people can learn from you, your experiences, your vision, the future, your past, your mistakes, and your wins, and just get that out there to everybody. So thanks for joining us.
Pleasure. And that's kind of what I do. That's my trajectory these days as well. I spend a fairly amount of time now on teaching, educating, coaching, and helping other people raise the, rising tide raise all ships. So that's kind of what we're about.
And you have your son Lucas, who we're a big fan of. He's a great guy.
Yeah,
he's part of your team. He's doing a lot of work. I know he's running around a lot. So
great guy, great agent, good support. We have a unique team. People like him, and that's important because we're in a relationship-based business.
Sure.
Does he run the team with you, or is he separate as far as like being a realtor on Long Island?
No, Luke's definitely involved in the team. We have an unusual hub, which we call the hub, which is our management team. And on that basis, we have myself as the rainmaker. My wife is our director of marketing. Lucas is director of sales. We're pleased to announce we have a new addition to our team, Darren Debble, who was the former team leader for Manhattan, is with us as Director of Growth and Expansion.
That's great. Shout out to Darren Debble.
Yep.
Shout out to Darren.
Shout out to Darren is right.
Congratulations.
And to Luke and to Hope.
Yeah.
We also have Janelle, who is our Director of Operations, And then, of course, we have Michaela, who is our Director of Agent Services. So when you take a look at our value prop, which basically reads like whatever anybody could actually need in real estate,
Yep.
on top of that is that hub and that structure that knows that all we need for people to come on board is for them to pour themselves in and to commit and show up, and that we have a team that can take them to the rest of their success.
And you built that team from the ground up, right?
It's a constant, work in process. But yeah, we've built it from time up. We've failed. We've grown. We've had people that came on board that left. We've had people that came on board that didn't work out.
Sure.
But we're very excited about the combination that we have today. And we think that's going to make a major difference for everyone who we touch in real estate. And we touch a lot of people in real estate. You know, it's not about just buyers and sellers. Buyers, sellers, agents, our market center, our culture, our company.
Yep.
If you understand the KW ecosystem, we are a replicant of that, and we just try to do it at the highest level that we can.
And you certainly are, because the numbers never lie. I'm not going to talk numbers. We don't like talking numbers.
Okay.
But when you're number one in any category, obviously you're doing the work, you're planting the seeds. Consistency.
The numbers are big.
The consistency piece, I think, is everything, right? Because I was just on a call with an agent on the West Coast, and they're having an absolutely spectacular first half of 2024, and they're talking about taking 2 months off in the summer. And they've been in the business not a long time, almost 7 years.
Right.
But 7 years is enough, right? Because you're experienced pre-pandemic, right? Because the pandemic years,
Sure.
And I'm just saying, that's you have momentum. This is when you press harder on the gas, because you could achieve greater things, and you could table that break for November.
Look, there's certain dynamic about real estate, and the dynamic is that this is an ongoing business. You can take it anywhere you want to go. Gary Keller would say, if you're taking 2 months off and that's your time-life balance, that's okay, but who's minding the store?
Yeah.
While you're taking off.
Yeah, listen, agents come and go. The hub, what we built out, is the essence of a business.
Sure.
You can't have a business based on agents.
Yeah, Alex, he's one of my mentors. He's helped me make some changes that weren't visible to me at the time. And one of the things he kind of showed me was the value of the production line. And I had the production line. He helped me fine tune it, and now we're replicating it. I started having assistants and people a part of my production line later in my career.
Right.
A lot of it had to do with insecurity of the loan not getting to the finish line because of all the details, nuances. Obviously, post 2008, there was so much constant changes, which left an imprint with me that I needed to be hands-on on every file to the finish, which limited my growth.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the concept, by the way. Keller Williams is built on 3 principles: leads, listings, and leverage. And if you're not leveraging, you've already capped out.
Yeah.
So if you're okay, you want to cap out. But I think the point that you brought about, which is interesting about the people in California want to take 2 months off because they're ahead of the game. If you have a business that's running and runs without you, that's great. If you're talking about being comfortable, again, my mentor is Gary Keller, and Gary Keller says, if you're comfortable, leave the room.
Yeah.
Because wherever you're comfortable, you're not in growth.
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with time-life balance. There's nothing wrong with somebody wants to take 2 months off. But, if the business is running and the business is the hub, business goes on without that person being there.
Yeah.
So kudos to them if they've built that. And if they're just saying, hey, I want to take some time off,
Yeah.
I'll be opening up a branch in California.
Yeah.
Barry, you mentioned, sorry guys,
Yeah, no, you're
you
good.
mentioned hub a couple of times. Did
Right.
you learn that from Gary Keller? Those are the principles and methodologies you learned through going through the training with KW?
I think, pardon me.
Yep.
Across the board, it's a terminology that I think people are used to, but I'm sure I picked it up in my KW trails, whether it was Gary or, what's the unique thing about Keller Williams. What I think is unusual is you're dealing with the #1 real estate company on the planet. We have 180,000 agents. I'm fortunate.
Worldwide, international. Yeah.
I'm fortunate enough to sit in Gary Keller's top 200 in respect to teams. And I think that when you intermix with people that are in that high level range, these terminologies come up. So I get to mastermind with Gary pretty much every month. And who am I masterminding with? I'm masterminding with the top solo, top team agents. So I'm sure the term or the hub. But when you think about it, what is a business? A business is the people that are not necessarily sales. You need the salesman. You need the agents.
The operational side of the team, absolutely.
But the operational side of the team, because you want to keep and you want to retain people.
Yep.
You want to open the front door, you want to close the back door. But at the end of the day, what you're really looking to do is say, do I have systems, models, and algorithms like leads, listing, and leverage, and all of those models that go with it to make the business continue to thrive with or without. And basically, again, agents will come and go. We hope that they all stay.
Yeah.
But the reality is the hub will handle us through any kind of difficult
It'll
times.
keep running. The machine will keep running.
Yeah, that's you need to be able to service it, because what we provide for agents is anything. I mean, I gave to my director of ops and my director of growth and Luke, and everybody knows our value prop, and we look at it and I go, do me a favor, highlight the top 10 that are significant to you, and highlight the top 10 that you think would be significant to somebody else.
Yeah.
And they come back and say to me, this is covers everything. Now, are we missing something? I'm sure somewhere along the line we'll miss or we'll grow. But the reality is that the services that anybody could want in the real estate business, we're there to provide that so people can continue to grow and build their own values, their own goals, and to build their own lives by design. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what we are. We're really dedicated to taking everybody with us to the next level. And so we're looking to build a world big enough that people can put their world inside it and not outgrow it. And
great.
so in order to do that, you have to have a mechanism that's going to be able to let that exponential growth go.
Yeah, the support is very important.
Yeah.
Like my business literally tripled
Yeah.
Right.
from having the
you go.
right people. But
Because you were able to leverage.
but I'm also willing to pay for quality.
Right.
I'm a firm believer that people that sacrifice, dedicate the time, take away that time from their families or other situations, and really commit to the cause, the goal that I get to really benefit from, right? Deserve to be compensated more than they're doing, because that keeps people motivated. Like for us in sales, it's a little different because we stay motivated. We have our eye on the prize. We know that we don't have a ceiling. Our ceiling is as hard as we're willing to go. But for somebody who's in operations, that has a very, very, specific job description with a salary, et cetera, obviously bonuses are the key, right? And so you want to raise those bonuses as you hit new goals, et cetera. Anyways.
It's the right personality match too, also, because you have to have somebody
important.
that's, if you have the heart of a servant and you want to help people, then your profile. But we're very big on that too. We do what we call a KPA, Keller Personality Assessment.
Is that like a DISC assessment?
It's similar to DISC, yeah, similar. It basically is going to give us a readout, maybe job fits, et cetera. But we work around that system, and we work about trying to find the right people for the right situation.
Yeah.
Barry,
Not
you
always
mentioned
easy, but it works if you follow the model.
Yeah.
Barry, you mentioned one of your roles, or your main role, is that of a rainmaker.
Correct.
Yeah, Barry makes it rain.
I
Yeah,
make it
For
rain.
sure.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
question.
So I know a lot of people are probably going to want to know what you mean by that. As far as what are your top 3 rainmaking tactics or activities you're doing right now to keep the leads coming, the opportunities coming in?
So everyone on our team gets to select their methodology of lead generating.
everyone on your team.
Yeah.
So everyone's a rainmaker on the team.
Well, everyone is a lead generator. If they're not a lead generator, they're passive lead generators, which means they're hoping and praying. I don't believe in hoping and praying when it comes to business.
Yeah. Hope's not a strategy.
No, hope is for God and small children.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when it
I'm
comes
a
to
firm
business,
believer in faith, by the way, and I'm a firm believer in hope. But
well, hope's also your wife's name.
hope's also my wife's name, yeah. So I'm a firm believer in that for sure. But ultimately, the name of the game is that I always use the analogy of, you know I'm a Barryism guy and a
Yeah, we're
symbolism
going to
guy,
get there.
right? So ultimately, I tell everyone on my team, I want you to imagine that you're in the Colosseum in Rome. Could be Greece. Ultimately, you're going to go out and fight for your life in the Colosseum. Right now, you're in the catacombs, and you're walking through tunnels to go out and fight for your life. On the way out are swords, spears, tridents, nets, whatever. I don't care which weapon you pick. Pick the weapon you love, because if you don't pick the weapon you love, you're not going to be successful, right? Pick the weapon you love. That's your lead generation model. Now you're going to go out to the Coliseum. You're going to fight for your life. So we encourage them all to not follow my particular lead gen model, but to follow the one that they love. And I think that's instrumental in creating that type of success. But my lead generation model has always been a combination of sphere of influence, networking, and ancillary industries that work together in harmony to create symbiotic relationships that generate business.
Collaborating with other business.
Yeah, and I think that comes under the banner of networking, but
Yep.
those are my particular lead generation models.
So your sphere of influence?
My sphere of influence.
Which is probably a very big part.
Yeah.
of-
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then networking.
Yep.
I mean, we do a huge job in agent-to-agent referrals. I mean, we have 8 years of stats with Keller. Keller has 35 years of stats. But if somebody were looking and said, who is it that I would want to entrust to my parents to sell their home because I'm in Texas and my parents are in Long Island, who has the stats, who has the reputation, who has the skill set? 93% of the business is done by 7% of us.
Yeah.
We're in the top 0.5%. We're at 27 or something in the entire state. We're the #1 Keller Williams team in all of Long Island,
Yep.
Queens, and Brooklyn, and we compete with the big boys in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we're expanding there dramatically right now.
So how do you see the New York, so as somebody who's been in the same scope of geographic, you know, just on the other side of the transaction, how do you see Manhattan as a lender? I've always found Manhattan transactions for me, I'd have to be a plan B. I've always been a plan B. Even at a bank, even with great products, it's a plan B scenario with a lot of the city clients. Like we have right now a $3 million loan on a $5 million condo. And for this doctor, who we did all the work to get him to the situation where he got his offer accepted, got him a pre-loan commitment.
Oh boy.
And as soon as he's in contract, you know, he goes to his bank that he has, you know, $3 million, $4 million bucks with.
Right.
And now they have the rate that we can't touch. So I've always found Manhattan to be the one part of New York as a lender now, right?
Right.
It's a little different. But also from a competition standpoint, New York City is a different animal, right? You have Rebney, you have a whole different, you know, structure.
I look at it, I'm going to jump on it. because-
Coliseum, back to the Coliseum.
No, I'll give you a better reference. You go into the casino and you're a blackjack player.
Okay, true.
$10
Facts.
tables, $25 tables,
Keep going.
$50 tables, and $100 table.
Okay.
Right? So I look at Manhattan, I said, you know, that's the black chip, right? That's
Yeah.
the black chip area.
More like the
So
purple
each
chip.
of those tables, by the way, as a card player,
Yep.
you have 5, 6, 7 people sitting at that table. You got to know who plays the anchor seat well.
Right?
You need to know who's playing the first. I scope out a table. I don't sit down at a table if I'm not comfortable with the mix at the table, because the mix at the table can affect the table.
Sure.
Yeah.
So each of them are a different market that you have to understand. And we don't sit down at games that we are not properly staked at. So I can't talk about the fickleness of that particular client who
Yeah.
didn't appreciate the value that you added. but I can say that we understand the demographics and we understand the rules of engagement
Yep.
in each of those different markets, and we adjust to it, and we bring in the players that are competent for us. So, it comes down to understanding the market, understanding the game, and being able to sit down and compete in that game, which, again, we won't jump into that game
Sure.
with all feet until we know that we're comfortable with it. But I think we look at the Hamptons and Manhattan as the black table, black
Sure.
chips and everything else. But we just feel that we can play at any table because we understand the master game.
And you have the hub.
And we have the hub.
The hub is critical. Yeah, because my production line for me it's everything. It's why I'm able to be here right now.
I think there's a big reason. That's a big reason why you've had such a great run and are having such a great run this year, because you have given so much love and support to your team and faith. So
He's so good. Isn't he good?
I mean,
he's so
he doesn't
good.
talk about it, but he
He's
just
so
had a
good.
record month. He's having a record quarter. He's
No,
going
we're
to have
not
a record
talking. We're
year.
not talking.
We're not
so-
talking about that.
So
but
best
it's about
of,
his team. It's
Best
about
of
the hub.
Long Island, agent and team nominations, which
Wow.
I think is huge. Real Trends, best New York team.
Wow.
These types of accolades, whether you win them, which you did, and were nominated, which you were nominated as well for others.
Right.
They don't just come out of nowhere. They don't just fall in the sky, right? There are accolades out there that, like the Haven magazine, right?
Okay, sure.
You pay whatever, and they put you on the cover like you're a rock star. And then there's things that actually come from sources that require you to be a professional, not just your production,
Yeah.
but your character,
Yeah.
your integrity.
Here's your next barrierism, guys.
Let's go.
There's pay to play, and then play to pay.
Yeah.
So it's very different.
So you recommend a combination of both.
Well, I think your game, your level of game, is your results. But some of the things that you're mentioning, where you get an opportunity to pay
Yeah.
to have that play, is one thing. But when your play gets noted and your successes are metriced and monetized, then that's where you get the pay.
Yeah.
So we appreciate all the fluff, but
Yeah.
it really doesn't take our eye off the ball. Our eye is really not on that. Our eye is on delivering and exceeding expectations for our clients.
For sure. So I know
And-
service, it's professionalism, knowledge, execution. I
Yeah.
get it. I know.
And quite honestly, I tell my agents too, and I tell my team, we have 3 clients. We have buyers and we have sellers, but we have other agents. And those agents are just as important, right? I mean, because long after the deal is done with Mr. and Mrs. Buyer or Mr. and Mrs. Seller,
Yep.
those are the people that are still on campus. Your
Yep.
ancillary people, that are related to it. So you have to look at the microcosm of what the industry is and embed yourself in the industry and make sure that people are flourishing. Keller Williams has part of our doctrine is win-win or no deal. And I like to think that we operate under that, and that allows us not to have commission breath or profit breath. It allows us to focus on what the real goal is, and that is making a difference in people's lives, getting them from one place to another, understanding what their needs are, identifying gaps, closing gaps, and taking them on a journey. So
Yeah.
it's always our focus. We love the fact that we can have some bragging rights around the ground, but you know what? When you go on a listing presentation and you go in and tell somebody, we're number 1 or we're number this or that, their attitude should be and is, so what?
Right.
What does that mean to me,
Yeah.
the
What
seller?
have you done for me
What
lately?
does that mean to me, the buyer? And so we've realized that our value proposition lies in the effect that we can have for people, not on the effect of what we've accomplished. And that's where the rubber meets the road.
So I want to ask you, if you don't mind.
I don't mind.
I want to ask you some just questions about your journey.
Sure.
Right. So you went to prep school. You went to George Washington University, and then you find yourself in the garment industry.
Yep.
So just give us a little snapshot on how that happened? Did you have family that was already in the industry?
To me, the trajectory into real estate.
Well, we're going to start from right when you get out of college
okay.
and you get into the garment world.
Yeah,
I
so-
didn't know this either, by the way. So before you got into real estate, you were in the garment industry.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm very interested in hearing this.
So I would say to you that I've got a lot of years on the planet. So my age is not a secret, but I graduated in '68 from college, and my careers were grooming a hot walker at a racetrack. I was a cook for a caterer. I ran a kosher delicatessen in Arlington, Virginia in 1969. I was in a construction crew working in construction. But eventually, my dad, who was in retail, not in wholesale, was in retail, had a cousin who was in the blouse business, and they were trying to get me to straighten out. You know, I was a hippie guy down in Florida. And you know, you got to come up to New York, whatever. And so they conspired together to get me to come up. And this cousin was in the blouse business, and he basically came to me and he said to me, you know, well, why don't you come up and you'll come to work for me and you'll learn the business. And my father at the time, who was on the other end of it, was on the retailing side, said, there's a tremendous void in clothing for women's large sizes. And so they said, okay. And he said, you should tell Leo, the cousin, that you want to open up a division for him in large sizes. So I basically parroted what he told me, and Leo looked at me and said to me,
Tomorrow's Dream and Silver Threads.
yeah, well, good research. So he said to me, Leo's response was, typical Garment Center response, you don't know a buying office from a pencil. What are you going to run a division? And I said, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I just take 10 numbers that you do, and I'll make them in extra sizes, and I'll build up a separate business in large sizes, which is what we wound up doing. And that was the creation of his large size company, which I launched, and then went out on my own with Tomorrow's Dream. But what it was understanding marketing and understanding niches and holes and opportunities.
Yeah.
So
Would you
that
carry
was-
that same principle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you are a hologram no matter what.
Yeah.
People are holograms. The guy that won't let you get in the right lane to get off of the road when you're signaling is going to treat his kid the same way. People are holograms. So if that's your nature, then, you know, you're going to break out and your nature is going to evolve. So it's always been niche marketing. And after I built up my apparel business, I realized that I had made, if not more money, as much money sometimes in just buying and selling real estate.
Right.
And at the time,
As an investor.
And at the time, my ex-wife was looking for a career, and I suggested she get into real estate. So we got her into real estate, and at one point in time, she said, you know, I'm doing an open house, and I'm doing it with one of the gals. I said, well, tell me more. What does that look like? Because my three amigos are tell me more, tell me more, and tell me more. So I said, well, what happens if you sell the house? Oh, we split it. I said, okay, I've heard enough. Don't have to tell me more. I'll get my license. I'll take you to lunch, because I was buying and selling real estate anyway. So I might as well do that and flip. So anyway, that's how I got into real estate.
What year was this?
05,
Yeah,
04.
it would be, right around 04, 05.
Oh, so you were in the garment industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's really good. And then you transitioned, you saw the opportunity, you transitioned, got your license, and started real estate as a real estate
Agent,
career.
yeah,
as a real estate
yeah.
agent.
With the
Not with,
idea in
not
mind-
with Keller Williams, though. You didn't start with Keller Williams.
No, I started with a boutique firm that was out here. I became their top producer. I was with them longer than I should have been, but I was with them because I'm that kind of person. I just worry about keep growing and growing the business and then moving from there. But I became aware of Keller, I guess I'm with them 6 years. And
You're currently with Keller Williams 6 years?
6 years.
Oh, for
Yeah.
some reason I thought you were with them longer.
No,
Only 6
I
years.
actually came over to Keller in 2018.
Got it.
We made the decision to go a little prior to that, but I had been aware of them and enamored with the model, but just never saw it, because for me, the greatest thing is that we really need to tell, and that's part of my trajectory here too, is to tell the story of the company.
Tell your
Because
story. Yeah.
the company is unique, and I've used the reference that people like also about, I've gone to people and I said to them, if there was another planet, and I told you that life was better on that planet,
Yeah.
that you can't imagine it because you haven't been on the planet, but if you could go to the planet, and I gave you a round trip, no expense, paid round trip ticket to go, and if you don't like it, whatever you take with you, come back and go back. If I gave you that, would you come take a look at what life is like on a better planet?
Sure. Just has to be November. We're busy through October.
Yeah. So anyway, the reality is that the model, in my opinion, and again, I did, 13 years roughly in another model, and 6 years in this model. And there's just no equating between a broker-centric and an agent-centric model,
Yeah.
and between being a stakeholder in your own business versus a shareholder
Yep.
of somebody else's business.
It's about the equity. There's equity there.
It's about the equity, and it's about the ecosystem. When you have 180,000 agents and you can do business anywhere around the world. I mean, I can do deals anywhere. I can recruit anywhere. I can recruit to my downline, to profit share. I can get referrals from anywhere. I can give referrals to anywhere. When you look at the opportunity wheel, and by the way, my trajectory through Keller is a poster child for that without sounding verbose, because I've gone through every aspect of that, from being an agent to developing a team, to getting involved in profit share, getting involved in agent-to-agent referrals, getting involved in market centers, getting involved in leadership. So, and the trajectory there is it just offers such a wide opportunity wheel for everybody to find their way into the mix and into the ecosystem, to find their niche and to be able to go. And being a niche guy and a niche marketer, what I looked at and what I saw was opportunity, 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 opportunity,
Wow.
opportunity.
Love it.
That's 6 years, such a short period of time.
Yeah, 6 years is an eternity, though.
I mean, you hear what he said? I've told you this before, there's riches in the niches.
Yeah, always.
Niche marketing has been around forever. Direct response marketing hasn't changed.
Yeah, and you have to find your niche within the niche.
Yeah?
You know, and that's
Yeah,
why I
go
shared
deeper
with you
down
the
the rabbit
story
hole.
about my guys and their lead gen model. I mean, we have an MREA playbook that has every playbook that you could use in real estate, and all you got to do is read through it and say, what attracts me, you know?
So Barry, hold on, let me ask you a question on that
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
You guys have the Bible, I call
Yeah,
it, the red
yeah,
book, right?
yeah,
I
we
call it
do.
the Bible, right?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Other
We-
brokerages read that book.
Not me, but Keller Williams wrote the book.
Yeah, so here's my question. Why do so many agents who have access to the material that you had access to, why are so many agents not as successful as you or can be as successful as someone like you? Because how many of the 180,000 agents that are with Keller Williams are not at the level that they could be or should be?
180,000 internationally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
worldwide,
Right.
correct.
Well, the usual 80.
Because everybody has access to the book,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, the usual 80-20 rule applies. So
Sure.
20% of the agents will be or are successful. And I think it comes down to commitment, consistency,
Consistency is so big.
goals, written goals, and following a plan. Because the first family reunion, we have two major functions. One's family reunion and the other one is
Family reunion was just in Vegas, right?
was in Vegas. Yeah, it'll be in Vegas again next year. And then we have Mega Camp, which is always in.
Let me know when you guys are going to family reunion, and Alex and I will come hang out
You
at
should.
the blackjack tables
Yeah.
because I'm a great anchor.
Okay, good.
I like the anchor position too.
All right, I'll be the
Well,
the
the
starter.
anchor gives you a little bit of control of your own destiny.
You could read you could read the moves too. You can see what's
and
going
the,
on.
the wrong guy in the anchor seat can kill the table.
Well,
the
you got to
the
know.
first and the
you gotta
last
know.
seat are the
Yeah.
most important seats.
I feel the anchor is
Yeah, I
really
agree.
the seat, but if you have one bad player, it doesn't matter how many good players you have. When you have that guy that has 8s and he doesn't split them, it's like, okay, time to go.
You have to split them even on ace. Even in an ace showing, you have to split them all the time.
Aces and 8s, no matter what.
You just
I don't care what your mama told you.
Split them. But anyway, so I think that's really the key thing is the culture that we have allows people to grow at all levels.
Yeah.
But as far as why somebody else isn't, everybody's, we're all not cut the same. But what I like about our industry is you can decide how much you want to make and work to that level, or you can decide that you don't want to have any barriers. We sit down with our people and we basically qualify for them. What are your goals? What are your trajectories? What do you want to make? This is what you need to do to make it. It's all there.
Yeah.
When I went to this first family reunion, I ran into a guy, I'll never forget him, and we were spending some time. His name is Maynard. He's out of D.C. Hey, Maynard.
Shout out to Maynard. What's up,
Shout out
Maynard?
to Maynard.
Cheers, Maynard.
And he said to me, I'm not bright. I don't need to refigure this out. I just follow the model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's bright because he followed the model, and he follows it at a high level. So he's incorrect.
We're not trying to reinvent the wheel.
He's not
Like,
incorrect. He's
just keep-
incorrect about that he's not bright. He is bright. He's real bright for 2 reasons. Number one, he's bright, and number two, he's real bright to follow the model.
Yeah.
So if you follow the model, you can do it. But people come in, even me, in the first 6 years. There are things that I brought in that were contaminants that it takes you time to work through and work out. And sometimes you're better off cutting the tree down to the roots and rebuilding it correctly. But what we've done is a scrappy yard version of getting to there. And I will tell you this, that over the last 6 years, we've learned, we've grown, we've succeeded. But at the end of the day, our trajectory going forward is really enticing and exciting because we're probably more and more in model and in formula than we ever were before.
That's awesome. We'll give you a
That's awesome.
So the way I look at it, somebody who's in the trenches, is that if you're doing well right now, this market, 2024, some people are, you're trying to get me drunk, some people are actually having, this is, what it is. Some people are having their best year. And I'm not talking about a rookie who just got into business a couple of years and now is having a great year. People that have been in the business 10 years are having their best, and I'm just talking about realtors right now, are having their best year right now, and that's a testament to consistency, hard work, dedication, planting seeds. Eventually, you dedicate your time and cultivate that crop, you're gonna harvest it. And when you harvest, that's my opinion, depending on where you are in your career, because you're at a point now where, like, and I see, we're friends, you're going to Paris, you're enjoying your life. Now, you're not going away for a month, you're going away for a week at a time, but you're taking those times to, decompress, reset, come back strong. Nothing wrong with that. But the mistake I see young professionals make, and I could say this because I'm older, may not be quite where you are in the cycle, is they let off the gas too soon.
Take the foot off the pedal.
And I don't know if that's a dynamic of, their initial environment. Like, for example, I come from an immigrant family. My father, my mother, great people, hardworking. They didn't have any financial real understanding, literacy, et cetera. And I talk about it a lot.
I'm big on financial literacy.
100%, right? And that's our responsibility, right? Like, because we deal with so many people that are, you're just trying to take that
That's
first
our
step.
next prong, by the way, into the market, which we'll get into a little bit.
Yeah. And I think to myself, if I didn't, coming out of college, go work on Wall Street and become a stockbroker and get an exposure to how much money was really out there at a young age on an internship, I never would have really known in my mind. It would have just been limited to whatever I saw in my town in Astoria, Queens, like, oh, the nice car and this and a nice pair of shoes, that's the goal. And it's when I was cold calling a nuts and bolt manufacturer, the owner of the company, and his company made $200 million a year before 2000, right? So we're going 1999, and $200 million selling 3 types of bolts and screws specific for X, Y, and Z in the aerospace world. That opened my eyes.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's like a gazillion amount of money in everything.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is just set your goals high. And, you know, going back to what you said before, you know, having, you know, a goal without a plan, it's just a dream.
Yeah.
You got to have that plan in motion, and you help your people put that plan in motion. There's something that I don't know if it's still intact, because some of my data is a little dated.
Yeah.
The 7 levels, is that still intact? Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, there's 7 levels that a team can go through within the MREA. At the 7th level, basically, the business is running itself. So we go
It's
back
humming.
to your people in California.
Yeah.
They can leave for 2 months because it's running.
They're not there yet.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So that's always a goal. I'm a firm believer so I'm passionate about what I do. So to me, passion equals excellence. Excellence equals results. So
Yeah.
I'm not looking to get out. I'm looking to build the machine that can run, that gives me the ability if I want to.
Yeah, well, your phone rings constantly.
Yes.
And that is the sphere of influence that we were talking about before. It's the impact that he's had in his network for multiple, and it goes before real estate. His 30 years or 20 plus years
100%.
in you know, as a business owner, you know, in the wholesale world, in the retail world, his sphere of influence is huge, right? So once you remove yourself, and this is what I try to explain to that, you know, that my colleague, once you remove yourself from the equation that long, the momentum starts to change. But once you achieve a certain level within a production line, right, the hub, however you want to word it, I have clients that look at me as an equal to everyone on my team, and I love that. Right. When I get the review, whether it's, you know, Zillow or Google or whatever, and they're talking about Rosemary, and you're the best, Rosie, shout out to Rosemary, or Jason,
Hey, Rosie.
you're the second best, Jason, to Rosemary, she's number 1. Or Matt, you know, you're number 6 on the list. I have clients that shout them out as like they're, you know, this is who you need to work with.
And not you, and you feel great about it.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I love
Our job, my marketing department's job, their direction is make my agent's phone ring. Asha, come list me. Luke, find me a home. Whoever the agent is.
Yeah.
So that's our job. Our marketing is not, and what we teach them is to use the leverage of the team, but to build up their own business within it.
Yeah.
We want them self-sufficient. So, yeah, that's basically it. And when we get testimonials, we love it.
Yeah.
That, you know, this one did a great job. Keisha, one of the agents on my team, just did a phenomenal job for a very dear friend of mine. Hey, Rob.
What's up, Rob? Shout out to Rob.
Shouting out to Rob Xavier, one of the best insurance guys in the biz.
No, that's awesome.
What kind of insurance does he do?
He does homeowners and auto and all that stuff. But anyway, we were fortunate enough to represent him and his mom, and you know, the accolades that both him and his mom gave to my agent is to my agent. But I'm feeling the pride too, you know, because
well, that's your baby.
This is a gal that came into us and worked as an admin in the hub.
And
then she looked at me and said to me, you know, I really like the sales part.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, well, we're not here to hold you back.
Yeah.
So let's get you in sales.
It's all a segue.
Now replace yourself.
Yeah.
Work with me to find your replacement. Let's get you in sales.
Love it.
And today she's one of our better agents. So
Oh, that's a
it's
great
all
story.
about taking people on the journey of where they want to go. Because if you're not plugged into their journey and it's all about your journey, that's not going to win. That's not a win-win deal.
Right. I feel that we're going to have you on the show again.
Yeah.
Because our producer,
And Lucas.
very rude producer.
And Lucas.
Oh, we'd love
Yeah.
to have Lucas. I
Yeah.
think we could bring Lucas on his own.
Okay.
So we could bro it out with Lucas.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
you know, I think with Barry around, you know, Lucas might be a little more reserved. I think we could get
Get him. Go for
we
him.
could get Lucas
Go for him.
to open
He
up.
wants to come on. He told us he would.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
we'll figure it out.
100%.
So we asked some like very silly questions.
Okay.
And based on that, we usually do shots. We're not
We
going to do
guess.
shots
We guess
today.
the. We'll
Yeah.
do a little
So,
sippers. We guess the answers.
but you can't. Don't say the answer until we guess.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Sure.
Okay. Mets or Yankees? I'm gonna go with Mets because I'm a Mets fan.
Yeah.
Okay. You're a Cubs fan, so
Yeah.
you go with Yankees.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Okay.
go. I was gonna go with Yankees anyways.
Okay.
Now?
Yeah.
Neither. I'm not a fan.
You're not a baseball fan. Or not a
You
fan
know,
of either
you-
team.
Listen, when the World Series is on, I'm a fan.
Sure.
Prior to that,
As long as it's New York, you're happy.
I mean,
it doesn't
again,
matter if it's Yankees or Mets, or do you have a preference?
No, I really don't. And
Okay.
I think, like with my two sons, one of them is one and one of them is the other.
Okay, so,
So
we both
no.
take a sip. We both take a
take a
sip.
sip.
Cheers.
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 Okay, there you go.
Giants or Jets? I say Jets because I'm a Jets fan. You're a Bears fan, so nobody cares.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Giants.
Same answer.
Oh my God, what is going on? What's happened
Do
to
you
the
not
world?
like sports teams in New York?
My sports that I love to watch.
Don't tell us a team. But
In
what's
Florida.
the sport?
They're all-
Tennis.
Tennis. Okay, you know
So-
we'll do a
tennis.
tennis. We'll do
Yeah.
a tennis.
Okay,
sport.
all right, but you know what? Tennis is generational.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and I'm a little biased because I'm Greek, and Pete Sampras was the man for such a long
Yeah,
period
I'm a
of time.
big Pete Sampras fan.
Yeah,
I was a big Andre Agassi fan when he
yeah.
was in his prime.
Yeah.
I love his story.
I mean, Nadal, you know, is wrapping up. He has, I think, 14 on
Yeah,
play. Yeah,
yeah,
consecutive.
yeah.
Were they consecutive or
Yeah.
total?
I don't know on his. I'm not a stats guy
No,
either.
total.
I'm there to
consecutive.
watch him and enjoy it.
He had two other guys competing with him at the highest level too.
Now
The one
Luke
that just
can give you
retired.
his answers on that. You'll have
Yeah,
fun
yeah,
with
yeah.
Luke on that stuff because
All right.
he's
So
sports driven.
Tennis is a great sport, though.
I
Yeah,
have
I
one.
love
I have
tennis.
one. I have one. He's like 70s, 60, late 60s, 70s. We're gonna say it's just a preference call,
Sure,
right?
yeah.
All right. So we're gonna go with Jimi Hendrix, okay, or The Doors. I let you pick because it's just random.
Yeah.
And you just say which one you like better, and let him pick, and then you say which one you prefer.
Sure.
I'm gonna go with the Doors.
I would probably go with The Doors, but you know, Jimmy was nasty.
Jimmy was
Yeah,
nasty.
he was
We have
nasty.
a picture of
He
Jimmy
was-
right
he
over
was
there.
really nasty.
Doors were amazing. I love their music. Hendrix is still probably one of the top 5 guitar players that has
Yeah.
ever set foot on the planet.
Cheers, Alex. You drink on this one. I'll watch you drink.
Cheers.
I'll drink with you.
We had one of our friends, a great attorney, and we got him empty. He hadn't eaten
Oh boy.
with a bottle of tequila.
We won't
nice.
say
It
a
was
name.
great.
Yeah.
It was great. It was
Good.
awesome.
He didn't know he was coming on the show.
Yeah.
He didn't know that we were drinking on the show,
Right.
and he enjoyed drinking with us, but he forgot he didn't eat. And then he had a signing, which we didn't know. And
Yeah, he was running. You know how attorneys are sometimes.
I think it was one of the best
So
signings he's
as
had
you
in a
know,
while.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you know, in 2023, I was diagnosed with tonsil cancer,
Yes.
and in doing so, this throat issue is not from the cancer, which thank God we beat and we're back. Yeah. Shout out, thank you God, thank you
Yeah.
God.
Fuck
thank you,
cancer.
thank you, yeah, and
Yeah.
thank you family.
Yeah.
But ultimately, they were doing some exploratory surgery to see about certain nodes, and they paralyzed one of my vocal cords.
Oh wow.
So,
Singing
have-
career done.
well, yeah, I mean, basically, I lost my mojo, you know, for a while. But that's okay. I had my team again to support me, and what I wound up getting was some shots into the vocal cord with filler, so that the vocal cords would sit together and resonate the way they're supposed to.
Wow.
Now,
Wow.
those shots sort of wear off or whatever. So the one thing that they'll tell me, if you're going to go to a speaking engagement, don't drink alcohol.
Yeah, for sure.
So otherwise I'd join you.
Well, it's overrated anyways. I mean, if it, if it wasn't for Alex, I probably wouldn't drink at all. And
Okay, there you
my,
go.
and my wife and a couple of builders and colleagues. I'm not a drinker. My dad enjoyed drinking.
Right.
So as a kid, like I guess you almost do the things your dad doesn't do, or you do the things, whatever. Anyways, so it just wasn't my thing. Barry, you are a rare breed. There's no question about it. We are so grateful.
There's a lot of people that would agree with you on that, but I don't know if it's a positive connotation. But
I,
it's okay.
I think it's very positive.
You're an inspiration to
You are, yeah.
a lot of people, not
That's
just
great.
not just the real estate community. Just look what you have been battling
Yeah.
with the cancer, and
Yeah.
look at how you bring just yourself and your energy even.
You
to
just had
simple
surgery
podcasts.
yesterday.
Yeah.
And you didn't cancel on us, and that says a lot about your character and your
Yeah.
commitment to your brand. He was here early. We've
Yeah.
had, I'm not going to say who,
No.
he was here like 40 minutes late. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And that's okay. Like, you know what? We're here to work together, and so, but
My
you,
calendar works me.
yeah,
So
I'm with
that's
you.
all of that.
I'm with you. He's actually helped me maintain a structured week. I don't know about you, but it's very hard for me to have a super structured week. I could have a calendar with calls, but
Right.
like Alex has a regiment. He gets up at
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
5 o'clock. Does
Yeah,
he
I
has
mean,
a-
I believe in it. I mean, you sometimes you have to flex because you
Yeah,
can't.
you can pivot. You can be
You
fluid.
can't, yeah, I mean,
but-
just because you said that you're going to drive down to Florida on I-95 doesn't mean you can't go off-road and make a visit.
Yeah, there might be a detour that comes up, and you're going to have to
Yeah,
pivot.
yeah, exactly. So that's the case. But I know if it's not down, it's not down. And,
Correct.
again, I'm with what I consider to be one of the best mentors on the planet.
in Gary.
Yeah, and
Shout out to Gary Keller.
yep, here's to you, Gary.
Here's to you, Gary.
So professionalism, knowledge, execution. That's
Yeah,
big.
Yeah.
Barry,
yeah.
close us out with, you're still recruiting?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, so who are you looking for? What do you want out? What are you seeing out there? What do you want? And give them a little plug.
I wear several hats because, number one, my partner Rich and I, Rich Amato, we are always in talent acquisition mode, and so we are always looking for talent. So whether it's for the team or for my market center, because as an investor owner in multiple market centers, all I want to do is make those market centers profitable
Yep.
for everybody in them. Because don't forget, we're a profit share company.
Yeah.
The more money we make, the more money we give to the agents.
50% of the profits get, that's
Yeah,
tremendous.
yeah,
They get
That-
dispersed to the
Yeah,
agents.
that's the model. It's
It's actually
tremendous.
48, but let's not split hairs. But yeah, it's basically a 50-50 split. Whatever we generate in profits, 48% of that goes back to the agents.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, I mean, nobody's doing that.
Yeah.
Nobody's doing that.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg because of just how the model is and the
when
ecosystem.
you look at our value prop,
yeah.
which I touched on with the opportunity wheel of a capping company where after you exceed a number in the cap in company dollars, so you're
100%.
100%.
Boom.
Where you have profit share, where you have 180,000 agents. If the guy next door to you doesn't want to tell you what his listing presentation is, the guy in Chicago will, because what
Yeah.
does he care? You're not his competition, right?
Sure.
So when you have 180,000 agents that you can collaborate with, grow with, learn with, best practices,
Leverage.
leverage, that's there. So when you look at the model that we have, if people really take the time to understand the model, allow us to explain the model to them, there's nothing that can compete with it. Now, if they don't get the vision, can't help that. But that's basically who we're looking for, are people that want to be CEOs in their own business, that want to basically drive their business and be in a knowledge-based, learning, growing company. And like I said, Gary says, if you're not growing, you're fading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if
There's
you're,
no standing still.
Yeah, and if you're
Yeah. No
comfortable,
middle,
leave
yeah.
the room because you're with the wrong people.
Yeah, for sure.
So you need to set goals and set bigger goals. So yes, we are looking for agents at all levels because we built a company that is where we can take care of dependent agents, interdependent agents, and independent agents. So there's a home for them in every one of our mix. And we're looking for them to come on so they can build their own lives by design and teach them a better way to do business because it's
Sure.
out there. So that's part of our talent acquisition mode because the more people we bring in, the more profit we do, the more we all make. You have to think of this company almost as a commune.
Yeah,
And
like
the
a
better the-
blackjack table playing the right way.
With the,
right?
yeah, you got all five.
Community.
You got all 5 guys to take down the dealer.
Yep.
That's us.
I love it.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
a great
it.
analogy.
So Barry, thanks again for coming on.
Pleasure.
I think an hour just wasn't enough. We're going to have you on again.
Be my
I
pleasure.
think there's a lot. I have a lot more questions that I didn't get to ask you
Okay.
that I think are very important for the community. As a leader, as somebody who's done it, somebody who's pivoted from one industry to another industry. You changed careers late in life. You crushed it. I think a lot of people can learn from that, and I want to share that piece. So we're going to get you back on soon.
my pleasure.
In the interim, thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure, guys. Thank you
keep,
for having
keep
me.
doing what you're doing. God bless you.
Same.
And God bless your family, and God bless the Paley team. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Take care, everybody.
And a shout
ya.
out also, if I may,
Yes.
to my team. Without all of you guys, we wouldn't be here.
For sure.
So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, guys.